in ancient land where gods walk among men. A living, breathing, high fantasy world that we want to put into your hands. But we cannot do this alone. In order to bring you back to what tabletop is about, combat, exploration, adventure, we need your help to bring it to life. By supporting us on Patreon, you can support this project and the cast of Moonskull, with our promise that we will answer to the only people that matter. You. Legend Seeker. Your legend starts here. Forge your path. Shape your destiny.
Well, look at you folks. I ran outside really quickly to run upstairs and grab some berries off a bush. So I'm like, oh, whatever now. Because Chrysanth made me want to eat food, but I didn't have any food to eat here because she was talking about gravy and stuff. I mean, hi. So, hello, everybody. I'm Frost. I'm here to work on lore for Legend Seeker, the RPG. You can see the logo up there. And today I'm going to be finishing off the entry for the government of the dwarves in Mount Silvermound and moving on to another section. Be exciting. But I have to look at one thing. Where did I save that? Oh, there it is. Okay, yes, I did enter that. All right, I finished that entry. Yay! Woohoo! I am here. It's exciting. It's exciting, and all the things are exciting. Make sure that I've got kick off. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Yep, we're good. Okay. I ran upstairs to get berries off a bush. I'm in the basement. So my office is down here in my unfinished basement because that way I have just all the space in the world I need. Because I have my streaming area here, with TVs and computers and all that stuff here. And then my work desk is over here, 90 degrees, with all my monitors and dev kits and stuff. That way I'm totally separated from where the cats can wander because I don't have a cat door in the basement. And yeah, keep myself sitting. I could have run out the back patio and gone to the bushes out there. But it's easier technically to go upstairs through the first floor and the ground floor, first floor, whatever you want to call it, and go out to the bushes right next to the house. Because I have a mulberry tree right next to the house and blackberry bushes right in the little area there. So I don't have to go very far. I live in a basement. Burgers on a pellet smoker. Ah, nice. Dr. Pepper Museum. Ooh, have fun with that. Yeah, I have my whole basement. This part is set into the hill. The back part, the whole wall is big windows and the patio door that goes out on the back patio. So that part is exposed. So there are windows on 3 walls of the part that's exposed out there for the lower part of the hill. So yeah, but I have a storm shelter built into it under the front porch, which is also concrete. So the nice heavy steel door. That's where the cats and I go sit when there are tornadoes. And occasionally when I can't find the cats, when I let them into the basement, I find them in there sleeping on their little cot. You know, cats. All right. Oh, I have something weird to show you guys because I was cleaning some shelves off. And I forgot I have a whole shelf that's about 5 feet long-ish. And all it is on that top shelf are binders. And when we were cleaning stuff out at work years ago, they were getting rid of old archival materials. And I took as much as they would let me take because I didn't want the stuff to get lost. And this is one of the, I think there are, I have 20 binders or more up there. Might be more. Some of them are thinner than this. This one is a character binder. What these are is for games that we do when our concept artists would do things, they would create a binder with all the concept art. And these are all in plastic sleeves with characters. And I found this one again, and I forgot I had taken it. I was like, oh yeah, this is one of the ones I chose to take because this is our character concepts and enemy and monster concepts and everything from Jedi Knight. Now, this one is going to be hard to see. This is Tavion. She was the evil Twi'lek lady in Academy. So, all the concepts for all these characters, and it goes on for a while. It's like an enormous amount of concepts for everything to, you know, from characters to lightsabers to weapons to vehicles. And this is just one of the binders for that game. And I just have fun looking back through these things. I have ones for Quake 4. I have them for Soldier of Fortune. I have them for some of our really old games, Rampage, which technically got renamed. So I was having fun looking through those today, and I thought, oh, this one would be cool for anybody that likes the old Jedi Knight Outcast, Jedi Knight 2 Outcast or Academy games. So anyway, that's something I just thought was fun. Hello, Zerder, and hello, Jensen, and hello, Dave. Hello, Crescent. Hello, everybody. Hey, everybody, ask Crescent what she just made for food. This is going to be one of those know me moments where she can tell everybody what she made because it looked awesome. And while you do that, while you guys play around with that, I'm going to start typing here. I spell words almost correctly. I put this down as lyrics. What did you make for food, Chrysanthemum? Looked awesome. She shares pictures. She just sends mental pictures out, and sometimes I picture them up. It's very confusing. She may be too busy eating to even tell you right now. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if she hops in there and says anything. Right. So Mount Silvermount has always been ruled by a king or a queen, advised by a council of clerics, nobles, and master craftsmen. What would that be? What would you call that? I'm trying to think who, when somebody is given the the first opportunity to speak in a chamber, if that actually has a term. Let's go look it up. Wait. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Cleaning the floor. Maybe I just say they're entitled. Because it's not an official thing, courtesy thing. What's that complaining? Maybe Chrysanth fell asleep. Might have. No, sleepy Santh. She's probably just enjoying her life right now. Well, when she gets back. Oh, there. Oh, long guys are here. Ah, there you go. Oh, long standing is not. There we go. Complaining about here. Oh, it's complaining about something. Biscuits and gravy. Probably not the smartest move since it's 100 degrees outside, but I had to get rid of the sausage and heavy whipping cream. You gotta get rid of it. You gotta get rid of it. What better way? Why aren't you mowing your own damn lawn? Probably because it's 100 degrees. Oh, only have a push mower on half an acre since moving or 2 days. My schedule became too booked. Biscuits and gravy. Exactly. Good choice. Hello, Shadow Warden. How you doing? Let's see. We'll say stones. Also has no set number or roster. There we go. All guys need to do with you need to come and go. Are they different in Jersey? Just had to let them know I was here and write the check. Had to water the fig trees, raspberry bushes. Yes. Work shift. I moved second shift, day shift about a year ago. Since then, I really don't have time to mow anymore. Lies and copium. Kind of misread that. You see how many shows are on this channel? The number of times where I've like messaged Chrysanth about something, she's like in the middle of trying to get the VODs all fixed, because you guys may or may not know this, but those VODs don't just make themselves and get uploaded and have all the sound adjusted and have all that work done. Somebody, Chrysanth, does all that. My only experience with Quake is the Quake 4 demo. When I went looking for the Xbox, there seemed to think it was after Quake multiplayer. Oh, weird. Hello, Rory. Excuses. Oh, let's see. The council is that's why it's confused. No set number or roster, and the stones are cast each year's. And guild and church stimulates occur. Year may pass without a voice. If ties declared, more than one voice may attend. What else do we need to say about this? Oops, I don't need to capitalize that. Each outpost of goblins is seen by A Ron. You heard me pop my neck? Woo! Go neck. Then I just fall over. Oh, that didn't work. Maybe that would, there we go. Check this one. We'll try it here. Well, that's not helpful at all. Celtic. Okay. And we're indistinguishable. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's kind of cool. What does it work? There we go. I think let's try this one. No evidence for borrowing this word from another thing. Okay. Mountain or the hill. So, Berg, Kleb. Nope. Valley, the island, the cave, water, sea. I'm looking through really old, like, Germanic and Polish words and things because I'm trying to find some good terms to use because I want to give a good title or a term for a dwarf that is the kind of like a governor or the overseer of outposts in the world. I'm gonna come up with a good one. All right, let's see. We got the sun, the moon. That doesn't help. Let's throw this one in my writing, though. To burn, to blaze. Okay. Okay, those are cool words. Interesting. Oh, that page is really painful to look at. It's the background is just the German flag as color bars all the way across, but I have it set in dark mode, so it's really frightening looking. Let's see. Occupations. Well, okay. This is about old German professions. Occupations and illnesses. Is an illness an occupation? Or why are these together? I don't get it. Break. It is if you're on disability. Well, you know, that's not wrong. Okay, I'm going to say something controversial. You guys are going to love it, and it's going to bite me in the butt someday. Because I've been listening to all these people who are literary agents argue with people who are saying that the literary agents saying that they want, you know, whatever term they use that is in vogue, underrepresented voices or whatever, that they claim that they want these, but they're looking at the work first. But they want to represent the underrepresented voices, but it's all on merit. And tons of people, almost every single one of them's like, I totally didn't say anything, but I got a book deal. You know, flag and pronouns and bio, all the normal stuff that you expect. Almost every single one of them that said they got a book deal, somewhere in their bio talking about it, is disabled or has a mental illness or has something or whatever. I was like, I sense a pattern. And the one guy I saw that was, you know, white knighting and hopping in there and saying the same thing, mental illness advocate, blah, blah, blah. And he had a whole list of things or something. I have no idea what ADHD or something like that. I was like, the difference than ADHD or adult ADHD? I don't know. I don't know what that one was. I didn't look it up. What I was going to say is that illness seems to definitely be a profession. And I may or may not have touched on that in my book, which is maybe why I'm going to never actually find a traditional literary agent for it. Giftsword. No, I don't know. What was I doing? Oh, I was looking at illnesses. Yes. We can do it. Oh, where did it go? Oh, there's my page. Okay. Player roof uncover. Doesn't that mean like monster? Autistic ADHD. Really? There's an autistic ADHD? I had no idea. Just right up there in my mind with things that I didn't know that people claim to have, like time blindness. Funny how most every person I've ever seen in the last, or I shouldn't say ever, the people I've seen, almost every single one of them, time blindness goes one way. Reading everything about them. It's always late. There's never somebody with time blindness who's always early. Except that one person just said, I'm so worried about this. I show up everywhere 3 hours early. Okay, you don't have time blindness then if you're always 3 hours early. Right? What do I know? All right. A chuff sliper. A get polisher. Somebody who polishes agates. Okay. Achberger. One of 8 citizen representatives. Citizen. Bourgeoisie. Not a guild member. A juryman. Oh, that could be interesting. A farmer. Tiller of the soil. Ackerer. Farmhand. Oh, here we go. Adjunct. Well, that one's a little on the nose. Wow, administrator. Administrator. Okay, so that could be... That one could work. I mean, I could just go with alderman, but I want to find something a little different here. Wow, some of these words, though. Altentilirin, or something like that. Retired woman on life estate. Here we go. This is Dave when he retires. And alt-flicker. Repairer of old shoes. A cobbler. Dave, you're going to become an alt-flicker. Alt Schneider, repairer of old clothes. Well, Schneider makes sense. A Schuster, cobbler. Yeah. Person on life estate. An alt sitzer. Kind of autistic. If someone asked me about Warhammer 40k lore, that'll be stuck in there for about 25 minutes. I have some people I work with that, boy, they want to get a thought out of their head, even if it takes them 4 minutes to tell the thought. And if you interrupt them for whatever reason ever, they will start the entire thing over. So it's kind of like being captive sometimes in meetings because you're like, I want to interrupt because we understood their point after 4 words. And we exactly, we all get it. We know exactly where they're going with it. But they have to say the whole thing. Otherwise, they'll just be sitting there like, trying to rip their desk apart. So, gotta let them do it. Gotta let them do it. All right, this is Lute officials and an Meister, master of a guild. Oh, that could work. It still doesn't quite work. Skeller, steward. Local judge. Ooh, let's look for this. Let me go down the page. They don't have this broken up by letter, I don't think. Let me look though. Oh, it works actually. It works. Ratsverswantler, member of the town's code. I think I'm gonna go with a Richter. I think that's how you pronounce it. Richter, judge. Yeah, we'll do that. Wow, they have everything has its own name. It's amazing. A rinker is a kettlesmith. All right, we're going to go with Richter. Let's see. Can we find Ryber? What's the word? I guess rubber. Imperial Regent. Frau, cleaning lady. Oh, right next to this has got the word for rabies. I'm like, huh? Oh, that's right. They've got illnesses in here for whatever reason. Why not? Nah. Pfneche. Asthma. PIPF. Influenza. PIPF. Okay. PLAGE. Plague. Syphilis. Podagra. Gout. Okay. Let's see. We want to see. I guess I could. That doesn't quite work. Hello, Cajun Corey. How you doing? That seems like normal fans of 40K, though. Our moms used Tylenol when we were fetuses. No! Cat drives me insane. He just drank water, sneezed into his water bowl, and kept drinking like nothing happened. Save that for later. Well, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a term for a somebody who would oversee, like the person that these guys who like oversee what do you call them? The outposts. So like if you have outposts in the world, these are all overseen by the Richters. I'm trying to think if I want to create a position in the council that all of the outpost people would report to. And I could just call him, you know, like the head Richter or something, like the head judge, the head whatever. But I was thinking if I could find a different name for him, that would be great. Ross handler, horse dealer. Oh man, this word has some question marks in it. I don't know what that means. Okay. Probably not that guy. The Salmon, he's an administrator. The Saltpeter Cider, Night Rate Maker. Here, we'll just throw this back in here. There you go. The one who replaced Roy. A maker of knife handles. This is really cool. I'm definitely bookmarking this page because I've never found this one before. Shoemaker. Another shoemaker. Many different types of shoemakers. Schauspieler. Actor. A cowbell maker. Schenkenfer. Wet nurse. It's very close to the innkeeper. Weird. Interesting. Interesting that those are a similar word. All right, so there's a deputy there, a local court judge, just of the peace. Scheidsrichter. Here, let's do this. Let's find all the things with Richter in them. Stadtrichter, the municipal judge. Yeah, we'll go with that guy because Stadt makes sense. Okay, report. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. I like Bergvogt. I have Bergvogt in my list of notice, or is it I think I had it with a GH or something like that. But I had that in Fryland because they had these things. But then I changed all of those to be like Rathaus things. And then I removed a whole bunch of it because it was going to be too confusing. So I used English for almost all of it with just some flavor because I got a little too deep into it. I think I found a good balance at the end where I had a lot of the names, the place names, and all that stuff, and then pulled it back a little bit so it had flavor, but it was approachable by everyone. But I like Bergvogt. These damn Germans, they have some humor. Why, it gotta be German. Well, these dwarves have a German bent to them. The dwarves in the Mount Zintur, the ones who left and went off to the other part of the Godlands, left Mount Silvermont up here, they're more Polish. So, and there are a lot of their names. Palna, Krasna, Takis, Mika, Zintur, all these places, Karmun, Lubun, all these, they're very Polish. Polish. I need an order to the cowbell maker. I need more cowbell. Sanskrit. Got behind, but Tylenol, that's cute. I think my mom definitely smoked weed, maybe did some slightly harder stuff. My mom just drank, well, my mom drank and smoked, so that explains all me. Cowbell, a really French thing for a beautiful hunk of beef. It had to have the word bouf in it somewhere. Bouf. Bouf. Or bof. Is it bof? I'm bad at pronouncing almost everything. We'll say stationed. Let's see. We'll say lands, because not all of them are kingdoms. But 2Ds in lands. We'll go with that. Woof. Woof of these nuts? Sure, we'll go with that. Let's see, is this saving properly? It is saving properly. We are happy because it's saving properly. Right. Silvermont Army is stationed mainly to the north of the that called is this the yeah. Guarding the border against incursions, but a fraction of their forces are garrisoned at outposts and outlying villages. And villages of neighboring lands. Okay, we'll go with that. Because they most of their army is up there, guarding against the orcs and all the horrible creatures that live up there. And some of them are down here. Here they have Silverton over there. Definitely a big dwarven outpost. They have forces down at A4 and here and other places around this area to keep the undead in check too. But they're not spread out very far. All right, so anything else I need to talk about with that? I don't think so. So the current king. Oop, there we go. We'll say Landrick. Our king has been capital is in there. We'll say council meetings or let's see. I need to look something up really quickly because I'm going to get this name wrong. I think Ocala. Wait, is now I got to look this up. I've got to look up a person in Kiru here. Where is it? Where is he? Okay, it was all right. Division. Okay, 30 years ago. Yep. Yep. Okay, Ocala is the one who was killed. All right. It's the Boar clan. Kaga. Okay. All right, there we go. We'll go here. Bam. All right. In reality, it's just into the curse of Okay. What better than gobbling? Yes. So the current king, Landreth the Golden, has ruled for the last 25 years with his wife Rika at his side. She has, however, not been seen at council meetings or in public for quite some time, leading to rumors circulating that she is ill. In reality, she is obsessed with ending the curse on the dwarves and is leading an expedition even now into the jungles of Xanatha, aided by the forces of Kaga the Bear and his allies. This is Land on the Southern Shore. In hopes of keeping their mission secret. Right, I'm gonna look up one more NPC here in the tea house. At the tea house. Forces landed on the southern shore in the hope of keeping the mission secret, following the lead she had developed after consultation with the ancient dragon Whisperwind at the tea house. So I'm throwing this all in here for more fun stuff because technically she's the queen of the dwarves. Nobody's seen her in a long time. They all think she's ill, but in reality, she, along with a bunch of her priests and other people, traveled all the way across the Godlands in secret in a dwarven caravan, making their way all the way across here until they got down to the port right here. Oh, actually, did they go to Dun? Would they have gone there? Oh, I have a. I'll figure out the specifics. They either left from Rache or they went left from Dunhafen. Sailed down around the coast and all the way down along here. Boom. Down in the southern part of the jungles of Xanatha to start investigating. Because she had consulted with a certain being in the tea house when they stopped and found out some things that solidified her understanding of what was going on. So, the queen of the dwarves and a whole bunch of warriors from Okala and Karthal and Karthurum who sneakily came down there with them. They paid them a lot of money to come with them. Are currently looking into the possibility that the magic that is affecting them has something to do with one of these three temples, the temples of unveiling. So she's messing around with all the stuff that was messed around with down there that is keeper lore and the Brotherhood of the Golden Veil. So she's going to have a good old time. He's gonna love it. And I can't wait to get working on, once I get some more of this stuff done, I can't wait to start working in earnest on some of these little adventure hooks and stuff, because I want to write up, 1-page adventures. Just boom, here's some information. use this, go for it. But I want to write up whole adventures and longer stuff, focusing on, you know, the starting area, but also the Umbral Atoll and Xanatha and everything. But I think people would have a hell of a lot of fun with them. I think. I am. Queen of the Dwarf sounds like Nuggy Small leading Moss, Erudia, and JT and all the shorties. Woo! Maybe. There are a lot of dwarves and dwarven priests with her. And there are a fair number of Kiru barbarians. And in this case, when you think of barbarians from Kiru, think of the swords masters and people from Conan who taught Conan. You know, a fantasy version of a blend of mostly feudal kind of Japan, but like ancient Japan, Maori, and some Icelandic stuff thrown in there. So they're all about fighting and battle and whatnot with their barbarian tribes. But most of them, you know, fight with some honor, except for Monkey Clan and occasionally Leopard Clan. They don't worry about that as much. But Boar Clan, Bear Clan, and any of the others that we have in there, a little more interested in fights because they want to better themselves and fight. But they hate. That's one of the reasons they got them to go with. They do not like the gods. They're like, yeah, let us get on with our lives. We don't care about you. The gifts were an entourage. Oh, nice. Okay. Aided by the forces of Kaga the Bear and his allies. Forces land on the southern shore in the hopes of keeping their... Oh, there's a base in there. Hopes of keeping their mission secret, following the lead she had developed after consultation with the ancient dragon whispering at the tea house. All right, so that is saved to the drive. Man, it's one of those days. What's up, History Eraser Button? What's going on? Are you burning down the house? No? Doing well, History Eraser Button. I think chat's doing well. They're chatting. They're having chat. But hopefully this means that your Wednesday will be better. Maybe. If Tuesday's downhill, Wednesday's uphill? Wait. No, if Tuesday's uphill, Wednesday's downhill? I don't know. In this case, is downhill good or bad? Because in one way, it's, you know, easier walking, but sometimes when you say things are going downhill, it's not a good thing. Won't that be fun? Okay. What else do I need to say about the government of them? These dwarfs. Because I got that all set. Let me check one thing here. Go with probably Volcan here. Okay, we'll leave that there. Hopefully Ghost goes well for history. Yeah, exactly, Dave. Good point. Work was very mentally fragmented and task loaded today, just not getting a brief respite before gaming. Just saying, Kyle sends bears, I might just go nuts. Hey, I think that's not a bad idea, but go nuts in a good way. Like, you know, Death Blossom kind of nuts. Just then when you wake up, you see the battlefield littered with corpses. Hopefully most of them your enemies. Death Blossom, exactly. And if people don't know what Death Blossom is, you should go watch the movie. Have you ever watched a movie? You should go watch a movie. I'm just saying. Death Blossom. Yeah, we'll put this on this tab here. Welcome to the Codan. Welcome to the Codan Armada. Go fight the Codan Armada. Whatever. Join them, fight them, whatever. Have fun. Sorry, I'm reading a real quick, what I thought was a real quick, like, poke of somebody who's like, I'm tired of hearing these people. And one of those people who I was talking about who's defending literary agents, talking about, you know, people being all whatever, like upset about it for no reason because they're afraid. This person I thought was a 2-paragraph little like poke. It turns out it's like 27,000 paragraphs long. Like, all right, well, I didn't know. Never seen a movie because I don't know what Death Blossom means. Well, Dave, let me tell you, movies are kind of fun. You sit in a dark room with a bunch of strangers, eating snack food and drinking things you probably shouldn't drink, watching a flickering, moving picture on a screen with loud sounds and a whole bunch of ads in front of it, and probably ads after it. You should go see one. Or you can watch them at home. Things change, always do. You'll get your chance. Important thing is, when it comes, you got to grab with both hands and hold on tight. You got to do it. Wow. Boy, I'm gonna, okay. Only because, see, Chrysanth, you tell me I never share anything kind of good with you. This feels like it was written by AI, but I don't think it was. I think this person actually wrote this post out and then maybe used AI to edit it. I don't know. It sounds a little strange, but this is that guy's post, and you can see what I mean by how long this post is. But I'm reading that while I'm mulling something over in my head, because real quick, for those of you who are in the Legend Seeker playtest, did anybody make a person, a barbarian from Hiru, or the barbarian's only a lizard folk? I'm curious. Pictures don't move. But if you draw the next frame slightly moved and you flip them in front of each other, it's an illusion. I do that sometimes, and I ignore most of the suggestions. And thank you very much. We didn't make characters. I was handed a choice of pre-mates. Oh, sorry. I should have been specific. I meant for the long-term one that's going on, because I think there's one, or are there two going on? The longer ones. I know there's one Saturday. Because there's an actual long-term play test that's going on. That's like a paid game with Erudia using the Legend Seeker stuff. I might have to go see what they just did. They can't knock the wheel. Well, they shouldn't be able to knock the wheel over. I say they shouldn't be able to, but some of my boy cats are really good at doing the thing that shouldn't be done. All right. Wow, there's some interesting little words this guy's using. All right, then. All right, now I'm going to go read all the responses. What? Huh. One person responded, well, damn, for that work of art, I'm now compelled to go buy his book. Anything less would be churlish. All right, I'm going to... Hello, Gino. I don't think so. I think there's going to be more play tests. I think the long-term one is so Erudia can test out like monsters and systems and how the characters work together and all that fun stuff. Kind of like in a big sandbox with some actual dedicated players that'll always be there. Yeah. So I'm reading now the follow-ups to it, Prasant. So yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go see what in the world the cats did. I'll be right back. So you get chair stream. You get chair stream. Here you go. That chair. Little furry monsters, what'd you do? What did you do? All right. They were just knocking stuff over like fun. But I brought down Calvino's mom, Boston Blackie, a house detective. How you doing, sweetheart? She's such a happy cat all the time. She's so lovey. Where are you? Yes, you can nuzzle. Come here. Or you're gonna go look. What? She's hot on the trail of something. What? She gets down on the ground like a black or a bloodhound. She's like, and just starts following stuff. Where did you go already? Oh, hi. Uh-huh. She just has to sniff everything, of course. You gonna come sit on my lap, or are you gonna run around like a nutty girl? You gonna come up? No? Come here. Mm-hmm. She's doing. She just wants to look at everything, because that's what she does. You want to come sit in my lap, or are you gonna go explore? I want to pull myself up to the desk, but if you try and jump up after I do that, I'm gonna get like ripped open by claws. Here. Here. Good girl. Good girl. Is such a good cat. You are such a good cat. Oh, you want to go on the desk? Okay. No, I don't want you on the desk. I don't want you on the keyboard either. So there, go. Go, go, go. Okay, go explore. Have fun. Go, go, go. No, your boys aren't in here right now. He just looks up at me and goes, no, your boys are outside. All right. I'm gonna pull my chair forward. You gonna move? Please? Okay, well, she will move suddenly. Go ahead, go explore. There's food and water over there if you want to go. You can go hang out in the window, whatever you want to do. All right, let's go see if she causes problems or not. She also likes to run up the walls because the walls aren't finished down here. She runs up the vapor barrier and gets up into the rafters, and I hate that. Which is why she's not down here all that often. Because she's never, since she was a kitten, stopped doing that, even though I was like, no. Fun times. Let's see. What book is Croissant's favorite farm series? I think it's one about beet farming. It could be turnips, though. I don't know, Dave, what is it you plant all the time in Farming Simulator? Oats? Really? Oats? Can't believe how tiny she compared to her sons. Oh, yeah, she's such a slight little cat. I mean, she weighs, I don't know, I'd say maybe 10 pounds? Maybe 9. Ish. Oh, da, 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 da. Huh. All right, there we go. She says as she wanders around. All right, I'm looking for some notes that I had on. Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's just go to that section. I want to look up something on the Paladin of. Yeah. Oh, you know, I just realized it's like way easy. Oh, it won't be easier. Dang it, I forgot. This thing has the. This is a Google document, so things are laid out differently, and I've got to find. What? What do you need? Hi. What? What did you find? She came over all excited, trying to tell me something. What? She's like, huh? Oh, did you find the spot where your boys always sleep? That little mat that they sleep on constantly all the time? And you were excited? I told you, they're not in here. They're not in here right now. Last time they were down here, when she came down, she's like, la, 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 wandered around. She walked over to them. Ow! She also grabs my hand when she wants to be petted, and she grabs it with her claws and her teeth. So she is not shy about wanting attention. But she walked over to him, and she wandered right over to flop down next to him. And, oh boy, Benji was not prepared for that. He was asleep, and he's like, Rah! And he got all upset, and she's like hissing at him, and Calvino's like, what's going on? Hi, sweetheart. Yes, you're such a good kitty. Yes, you are. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, you're purring like a crazy cat. All the claws in me. Thank you. Another thing she's never learned how to not do. Full claws all the time. Hi. What? You gonna come up on the desk and say hello? Come here. Am I gonna have to put you back upstairs? Because I thought you were gonna wander around and go find a place to sleep or something, but you seem like you're in a mood. Like you want all the pets. You want all the petting right now. Here. Come get the pets. He's like, yes, yes. Scratch my hand. I give you a brush, but I brushed you this morning, and there's no reason to right now other than to make you happy. It's really hard to type when I have both my hands scratching your head, kitten. Are you gonna lay down? You gonna lay down? Go ahead, lay down. Yep. Okay, yep, lay down. Come on. Oh, she's not gonna lay down. She's just gonna be a dork. Ah. All right, well, if she keeps jumping up and down and ripping my legs open because I'm wearing shorts, I'm gonna have to put her back upstairs because there's only so much pain I want to endure while I'm trying to write, kitten. Go find something to do, please. All right, I am trying to look up his paladins. But since this is laid out all annoying, and it's harder to find things in here, I'll just go find it. All right, so Vulcan, All right, words are divine. All right, role in the God Killer War as a deity, worship of the Order of the Bountiful Harvest. Okay. Okay, belief in the sacredness of nurtured resources, practice sustainable agriculture and hunting, which is what she does. All right, the Order of the Bountiful Harvest, Paladin Order dedicated to serving the island, promoting his values of sustainable agriculture, responsible hunting, and communal support. Understanding and preserving the natural processes that govern life and growth, nurture the land and protect it, oath that binds. Okay, oath of the shared feast. All right, is there anything else I would need to know about her? Okay, good. We'll just go with that then. Let's go back up. Oop. We'll go back down to... No. I can read pretty quickly. I just need to get to the right. There we go. Boom. Bam. Boom, bam, boom. Kitty! Yes, she is very kitty and wants kitty. It's much nicer when she is a little more laid back and just wants to fall asleep on my lap, because she just curls up like a little caterpillar. Totally rolls up like a little shrimp or a caterpillar. But when she's excited and wants to look around, she's just And she's being really quiet now, so I'm concerned that she's crawling up the vapor barrier again. Well, if she does, she does. Whatever. Whatever. All right, so yeah, I have her. She is a paladin. Yeah. So she's uniquely suited to dealing with some of the abominations stalking the jungle, and her men defend her fanatically. All right. What? What? Now she's doing this. Your boys aren't down here. I know you're calling for them, but they're not down here. They're outside. Sorry if all you can hear is meowing. What? Okay, I'm gonna go see. I think she's. Have a chair. Papa, come here. She just wanted to go back upstairs. Did I mention she's the house detective? When other cats start to misbehave or start getting in arguments and stuff, she is there. She will smack everybody in the head. All right, so. Yeah. So as I was mentioning about, the Paladins of Nya, the Order of Bountiful Harvest, they definitely follow, because Nya, as opposed to Arendor, Nya is more about formalized nature, because he was once a human. And they want to have bountiful harvest. They want to sustain their harvest. They want it to actually keep going. So she is that voice in the Dwarven Kingdom, as opposed to a lot of the dwarves who are more about hoarding, keeping things. She's more about, we produce what we can and we share what we can. Hospitality, all that good stuff. Yeah, so she's mom. Yeah, she is house mom with claws. Who cares about moms who use wooden spoons and shoes? She's got claws, man. Oh, my barbed wire run-in is healing up very nicely. I snipped a little bit of skin off the end here where the point went in, but the rest of it's healing up nice and quickly. So look at that. It's not nearly as bad as it was. Luckily, I heal fast. So, and I took that post and the barbed wire out like that. Calvina was once a vampire kitten. She's a vampire mama. Yes. Though, interestingly enough, she kind of has the little fangs a little bit, but she doesn't have the pronounced fangs of Calvino. He got special fangs. When he was sleeping on my lap last night, he was just laying there with his fangs out, and I reached down and I went along his fang and like click, click. And he's just like, he didn't even wake up. I'm like, all right. Whatever. Okay, we've got that covered. Is there anything else in the Dwarven section that I did not cover? Got all the parts. Got that. I don't have any name examples yet. Drax Clan. The Ares, where the Dragon Riders used to be. And all right, so we're on to Gnomish Enclaves. There are many gnomish enclaves throughout the Godlands, most of them safely within the borders of larger kingdoms. Two notable exceptions are Deru and Alf. Alf is down here, the south of the Soulspires. Little kingdom, all on its own out there. And Deru, a mining place over here that used to be a kind of a work colony, but is now they're independent. So if you make a gnome, bam! You could be from anywhere technically, but these are two places they go, where they come from. Half is situated along the southern coast of the Soulspires. This enclave dates back to just before the God Killer War. That's how that's written. Let's say well, founded just prior to the God Killer War. Gnomish kings and queens have kept their small city-states safe throughout centuries by making clever treaties, ensuring their products are uniquely desirable through the Godlands. These people are the ones who make this amazing travel rations. Oh, look at that. She put a big gash in my leg because she scratched or wanted to hold on. Thanks. Thanks, Baba. Little BB. Right. Namely, the travel rations they produce, which have an amazingly long larder life. The fact that they don't taste half bad is a godsend to sailors who manage to get their hands on them. Alpha is built on the hills overlooking the coast, protected by earthen ramparts, ditches, and sturdy wooden fortifications of cunning make. The lands around Half are fertile and sheltered from the worst of the sea storms, and the sweeping headland, or by the sweeping headland, enjoy a robust growing season. So this little area down here, you could technically consider it to be like a little Irish island, even though it's just a point on the edge of the coast. So it's a beautiful green place. Small folk have an extensive fishing fleet, and their vessels can be found a dozen miles or more from shore year-round, pulling in their catch from the teeming waters of the shelf of the Umbral Sea. Sharkfin Point, which we've talked about a couple of times here, 25 miles south of the headland is a rocky island that resembles a massive shark fin. It is a favorite crabbing ground and tuna fishing area for the small folk of Howth. Widely believed that one can catch the elusive soft-shell crabs more easily around the isle when Kika's moon is full, but this is generally regarded as an old wives' tale. When Grix's moon is full, the waters teem with bioluminescent man-o'-wars and other dangerous creatures. It is also rumored that a secret location is revealed on the island when both moons are full, harkening back to a story. I should say, maybe it wouldn't be a fable. It would be a legend about the twin deities playing on their secret island when they ran away from their parents and exasperated peers, all tired of their constant pranks. So this was kind of, in the legend, Sharkfin Point was their little secret place where they'd run off away from the other gods when they got tired of them playing pranks on them. All right, and then Deru, boop, enhance. South of Las Delacia, on the opposite side of the mountains from the caustic strand, lies the gnomish fortress mine of Deru. Built with the assistance of dwarves long ago, this complex of mines is a source of iron, copper, and tin for many traders across the Godlands. Once a vassal colony of Mount Silvermon, the gnomish leaders brokered a trade agreement with the dwarves and worked off their debt, becoming independent a few centuries ago. Deru is flourishing, and they have started their own trade in metal goods for the shipbuilding industry, not only in nearby Port Castra, as well as in Seabreak Haven and Folos further up the coast. So I don't have a whole lot of stuff written about the gnomes. So because the gnomes as a species is covered in there, we don't have to figure out if we want to put any more locations in here or specifics about them. I have a little bit about the foods that they like. These are their main enclaves. I may leave it at that. And then we'll step to Kiru. Oh, I suppose this should see what time it is. It's almost 6:30. I got another half an hour. Message over here. What is that? Yep, I gotta answer this. All right. All right. Work things. Let's see. All right. There we go. Work never stops. War never changes. All right. So we're on to Kiru. I'm going to be reading through some of this. I think I've covered everything in Kiru, but we're going to do a once over here. Kiru, their quote, their Kirinese saying is overcome yourself first. The second one is a statement of fact. It is the dead do not sleep in Kiru. A statement of fact as it is tradition for all dead to be incinerated or for the remains to be taken to the Morning Rock due to their distrust of the ancient necromancers of Sanatha. So you're not going to find traditional cemeteries in Kiru anywhere. They burn the dead very quickly after their loss or a battle or whatever, or they take their remains to the Morning Rock off of the coast and let the elements and creatures and stuff do their work there. All right, from the mountainous rain wall in the north to the lush plateaus of the south, Kiru is a wild, beautiful land embroiled in the bitter civil war that's been going on for nearly 5 years. Kyrians find beauty in battle songs, military ceremony, and holding their traditions, and while they do have great craftsmen, artisans are still considered second-class citizens. Female warriors are rare in Kiru, but not unheard of, as training women in battle is seen as non-traditional and therefore a questionable practice. Though drawn to war, conflict, and the testing of oneself against adversity, people of Kiru, by and large, did not participate in the God-Killer War. Their internal conflicts held their attention. Their desire to not treat with the gods of Erudia kept them neutral on the world stage. Grix's envoys have been sternly but politely refused, as had those of the allied gods. Only the tenets of Zerath ever piqued any interest in the barbaric folk of Kiru. Clans waged warfare upon one another as the world teetered on the edge of an apocalypse, focusing on their own aspirations and doing their best to ignore the upheavals in the cosmos. Where are the cannibals at? Once the God-Killer War ended, well, I mean, you could consider lizard folk cannibals because they could eat each other if they want to. But they're supposed to be more civilized than that, I guess. Yeah, you'll run into cannibals in other lands and areas. The orcs can be cannibals. Once the God Killer War ended, Kiru's borders were beset by hopeful refugees looking to find unravaged lands. They were met by implacable defenders who drove them away without mercy. Kiru was never part of the Agrine Empire, having refused to repeated offers and warnings to join them. As the Great Empire receded during the later years of the God Killer War, the Kyrian warlords consolidated their power and military might on their borders, preparing for the orcish invasions they believed would come. These invasions never did materialize, the orcs having been forced out of the Godlands by Grix's defeat. And the efforts of the Frylanders. With little to no outward threat to counter, the warlords turned their attentions inward once again, building great castles and focusing on their lands. 30 short years ago, the balance of power in Kiru shifted with the untimely death of Okala the Bear, the greatest warlord of the northern clans. Having no legitimate heir in place, his forces fractured, their attention turning to conquest. This division sent shockwaves through the other clans, and the slow march towards a full civil war began. The death of Okala is rumored to have been orchestrated by agents of the Leopard clan, but no concrete evidence has been put forth as yet. Greatest shame of the Kyrians is their past involvement with the mad brotherhood of the Gilded Veil that created Xanatha, and the majority of the horrors that still stalk the Forbidden Jungle. Forbidden Jungle! All right, the Bear Clan. Now, I've asked Erudia if we can add more clans and stuff to the ones that he came up with in the basic book, because some of the clans I have here are not represented as clans that you can actually be, or versions of barbarians that you can be. Wants to stop the cannibals from gaining the mana powers of the people they do manage to eat. That just doesn't work that way. I mean, anybody who wants to do anything with mana has to tap into the mana stream. So, I mean, if you ate a dude who was a spellcaster, you'd have a nice meal. And then you will have eliminated a person who could touch the mana stream. Minor clans, maybe. Yeah. We can, and they could be like, hey, these are the main clans. In this book, when you use the Godlands as a reference, you also have access to Monkey Clan and Leopard Clan and Boar Clan. And here's how they differ. So that might be something we add. I don't know if we'd add it in this book, but it might be something we add in a supplement afterwards. The Bear Clan is the largest of the tribes that are native to Kiru. Bear Clan currently leads the defense of the country against outside threats. Despite the internal struggles, funds and warriors are furnished from each of the clans to uphold these ancient treaties. The newest warlord of Bear Clan, Kaga, is son of a long line of Okalas who trace their line back to the original founder, the ancient seat of their power, a village that shares their name. Okala is primarily a fishing village, but controls and protects the mining interests of Karth Dal to the north. So, Okala. Okala. Fishing village. Big old lake. Bear Clan embraces ferocity in battle, often charging in great numbers towards their foe and driving them back, or driving them from the battlefield. Strength, defiance, intimidation, and the impulsive desires of the blood are the hallmarks of their society. The Heron Clan. The Heron Clan rules their lands from Rido, the hub of the silk trade in Kiru and home to one of the only ports on the eastern coast. Ruled by Yaga, the Blue Heron, a swordsman of great renown, Rido is a calm city that does brisk trade with other clans. Also known as a center of sword making, Rido boasts some of the greatest swordsmithing traditions in all of Kiru, rivaled only those of Bear Clan and Karth Dal. I'll say of the Bear Clan. The Heron Clan idolizes patience, cleverness, and agility, all in... How do I have that word in there? All in defense of their territory. Heron Clan is always looking to expand. See, this is why I reread these, because I'm missing some articles in here. Their lands have done just that in recent years with the takeover of Kisa Vale from Monkey Clan. So, Rido, the the Heron clan kind of runs this area around down here, but they took over Kisa Vale from the Monkey clan, which is a pivotal little place. Boar clan, more isolated from the mainland of Kiru than the other tribes, Boar clan rules over the drier grasslands of the north and western coast. They're great leather workers and hunters, and their lands are overrun with their namesakes. Great boars descended from the wild gubs that stalk the northern waste above Mount Silbermount, far to the northeast. The beasts were brought here in antiquity by the Brotherhood of the Gilded Vale for their experiments. They quickly overran the coastal regions when they had no natural predators. They intermingled with the native species and gave rise to the current dire boars that stalk the grasslands in packs. Obsessed with defense, Boar clan favors thick hide armors of cunning make and idolize the qualities of honesty, loyalty, and bravery, as they still believe they are the only line of defense for Kiru against the Azure Kingdom and the lands beyond. They are mainly neutral in the current internal conflicts, preferring to spend their energy on border defense. So their clan is up here. They have to deal with some giants, the Jotuns, the trolls, all that fun stuff. And the Giger are the trolls, basically. But they have their crazy hunting lands up here. And they are bordered up by Ukelos. So they still are assuming that the Azure Kingdom is just waiting to attack them at some point. And the Azure Kingdom is just assuming that Kiru is waiting to attack them at some point. Even though they've never officially ever really attacked one another. Unofficially. They've had some issues. Like on Voyager, there was Kazon Nistrim, but there were a lot of smaller clans. Yeah, it's possible that we could work them in there and just say, hey, the Bear clan is, for all intents and purposes, the same as this other clan, except blah. The Leopard clan is recovering from a mysterious plague which decimated their population in recent years. They still have no knowledge of what caused the outbreak, but the other clan shunned and isolated them, going so far as to leave massive tribute to good on their roadways to and from Umari to keep them from venturing forth. More than one Leopard clan scouting party was killed from afar by the bows of the Boar clan for daring to venture past what was considered a safe cordon. The Leopard clan idolizes speed, fearlessness, independence, and stealth, though their values and skills have been tested sorely by the isolation and death that the plague brought upon them. Monkey clan. The Monkey clan is the most innovative and most chaotic of the clans, embracing new ideas and thoughts as a rule. Recently driven from Kisa Vale by the expansionist warlord of the Heron clan, Monkey clan has retreated south to their ancestral homeland of Mosin, below the jungles of Xanath. So they were up in here, but they got shoved out of their place, so they had no choice really but to just go all the way back to their homeland. Here, they are licking their wounds, rearming themselves, and exploring the ruins they once trod as the helpers of the Brotherhoods of the Gilded Vale, looking for secrets and knowledge to help them take back what they believe is theirs. Again, misspelling. Bam. Idolizing adaptability, curiosity, and no small amount of greed for knowledge, Monkey Clan has and always will ignore their own safety in the pursuit of power. Though, also being great tricksters, they will often go to the same lengths for a joke or a prank. Both sides play banjo on their porches. You just hear a from beside the wall. There's a massive wall blocking the two kingdoms too, so it helps. You're waiting on one of the barbarian clans to just be a bunch of hillbillies. There you go. No, that's the fire giants, of course. At the foot of the rain wall lies Karth Dal, an ancient stone defensive fort with a commanding view of the southern lands. Once the seat of Ocala's power, it is now held by his son, Kaga. Yeah, I'll leave it his son. I was trying to decide if he was going to be a half son, but we'll leave it his son. It features concentric walls in the traditional style of a Kyrian fort, the center holding a large hall and towers, funneling the attackers towards the bulk of the defenders. Excuse me. The great swordsmith Hotaru, also known as the Firefly for the showers of spark his work produces, makes his home here in Karth Dal. Treated as a first-class citizen by Okala and now his son Kaga, despite being a mere craftsman, he is known far and wide. Students come to learn from him, though few are chosen to learn his secrets. Darth Urum. Darth Urum. What am I doing at the time, by the way? I got some time. The sprawling port city that supplies the majority of Kiru with goods from the Outlands. This is one of the only places in Kiru where you will find people from other nations of the Godlands living side by side with the Kirinese. While Outlanders can't own property in Kiru, crack goes my back. Several merchant alliances have been granted special permission to operate within Karth Urum and have been allowed to lease properties for their businesses. Merchant ships are not allowed to enter the inner port and are anchored in the outer bay while their goods are ferried into the city's harbor. Hero. Built after the God-Killer War as a fortified outpost on the very edge of Kiru's territory, Hero guards the only road connecting the eastern Godlands to the nation. Land trade from the Godlands into Kiru passes through here, where the goods are inspected and tariffs are collected before they are allowed to pass south. Yeah. We'll just say goods are inspected. Okay, yep. As a border fort, the protection is shared by members of more than one clan, united under the banner of the current northern warlord Kaga. Kala, a village in the foothills below Karthal. The village is named after the great Bear Clan chieftain who founded it long ago. Agat. There. Its gates and walls feature carvings of the namesake creature, and more than one of the great beasts will be found within the walls at any given time, following the lead of its master. Akala is primarily a fishing village, though they do deal in iron goods on a small scale due to the mines in the nearby foothills. Koto. Where is Koto? There's Koto. Flourishing Trappers Village, Koto is primarily home to members of the Bear Clan, great hunters who ply their trade up and down the river and into the mountains. The village features, spam, carrying versions of Agrian-style baths due to the hot springs in the area. Then they do a brisk business with outland merchants used to such luxuries. Kisa Vale, this is the one that was taken over by people of the clan, the Heron clan from the Monkey clan. Controlled currently by Iaga and the Heron clan, the crossroads is the last stop before the even wider southern jungles are entered. You can think of this as the Barrens. It's Kisa Vale is the crossroads and the Barrens leading down into the jungles. If you want a World of Warcraft reference. The Vale is a breathtaking landscape of jungle, dells, waterfalls, and hot springs. Once controlled by the Monkey Clan, their power is diminished and they have retreated past the jungles of Zanaha to their ancient ancestral city of Mosin. Far to the south. All iconography of the Monkey Clan is forbidden in Kisa Vale. The great statue of Obu the Moon, Obu of the Moon, has been toppled, much to the chagrin of Yaga, who had ordered it to be preserved, but shrouded. The message to do so arrived too late to stop the destruction by his underlings. Monkey Clan has vowed revenge for this affront and has refused Yaga's offer to restore the statue and pay a weregild in recompense. You wrecked our monkey statue. We hate you forever. I hate it. Umari, the main stronghold of the alien leopard clan, I'm going to make a note of something here. The Traerst and Walled. We'll say from. I'm adding some more details. The main stronghold of the alien leopard clan, Umari, is a terraced and walled city of striking design, though it has fallen from its former grandeur. The hanging gardens are overgrown and the markets are quite empty, as they have only recently sprung back from a deadly plague that had ravaged their people. Few travel in or out of Umari due to the lingering fear of sickness, despite the fact that no one has fallen ill for nearly a year. Great fishermen and trappers, they rarely lack food, but their desire for metals has been increasing of late. They are actively searching for new sources, even venturing into the shrouded and dangerous hills on the verge of the deep Xanathan jungle. There we go. All right, Cajun Corey, get ready for your stream. Later. Rito, ancestral seat of the Heron clan. This is the epicenter of the silk trade in Kiru. They jealously guard their most skilled tradesmen and their secrets. Amongst those are the swordsmiths who are famed far and wide for their light and durable blades. Always in competition with Hotaru of the Bear Clan, these master swordsmiths are not known by name. Yeah, I think that stands. Heron Clan has many competing swordsman schools, all claiming that they produce the best warriors. Yes, they do. We're best. Full Moon School, best. Jade Fist, best. No. Most of them, the ancestral home of the Monkey Clan, they were the favorite of the ancient wizards who experimented in the depths of the jungles of Xanatha. Guides, helping hands, and occasionally volunteers, the members of Monkey Clan were voracious for knowledge and it led many of them to their deaths at the hands of the wizards in their out-of-control experiments. They lost control of Kisa Vale recently and retreated the Mosin to lick their wounds and plot their campaign against Heron Clan. They've even begun following old paths into the deep jungle, searching after lost magics to aid them. Fools, fools! Excuse me. Yeesh. Ruled by the Boar Clan, this is the city of Kiru, closest to the Azure Kingdom. That's the one way to the northwest. Fortified hill outpost, it stands vigilant against an incursion from the Desert Kingdom that never has and likely never will materialize. Both cultures are generally more interested in securing their own borders, so the likelihood of a conflict is minuscule. The Boar Clan members are great hunters and leather workers, and they provide the kingdom with a wealth of cured hides and animal products. Kish is the only city of Kiru on the west coast to have a deepwater port, though it mainly services the Boar Clan raiding ships and their fishing fleet, which chases through the ocean waves for the elusive moonfish. Traders ply their waves or the wares between here and Knetsep, their shallow drafts allowing them to meander not only along the coast, but up and down the Godswell with ease. That's the river in the Azure Kingdom. Onsen, the ancestral seat of the Boar Clan, Onsen is surrounded by hot springs and lush hills, allowing the residents to have access to far more luxuries than their northern brethren in Brut and Kish. Hills allow for great farms and orchards to flourish under the watchful eyes of the Boar Clan warriors. Brut was once the northernmost settlement of Kiru along the high cliffs of the western coast, a river port that traded in fish hides and stone to both the rest of Kiru and the Azure Kingdom to the far north. Once gold was found in the northern reaches of the mountains near Giant's Pass, the city of Kish was founded further north by an enterprising Boar Clan leader. Route is still a major trade stop, as it is only the easy passage over the Golter River for miles, although a few ferry owners do make good profit funneling goods across the river away from the watchful eyes of the tax collectors in the city. The trail to the shrine and hunting grounds of Villagol Tour is Brute's other claim to fame, as a maze of splintered rock leading to the place is a nightmare to navigate through unless you follow the river. There's a ship graveyard, entry for the whirlpool tidal bay that draws in ships during storms and wrecks them. I gotta give this a note here because I don't have a good name for it. We're gonna go boop. Go, wait, which one is this? Light yellow, okay. That was weird. How did it do that? Huh. All right, we'll go that, and we'll fix this one to make it, we'll fix this one to make it yellow as well. We'll fix it. We'll fix it. All right, I just need to remember those. Those have a highlight and they need to be fixed. All right. See, just I did. What did I get here? What? Well, that's frustrating. Okay. Huh. Tools. I may have to. I've only got 8 minutes, so maybe they can wait. Maybe they can wait. We'll see. Done. All right. We'll figure that one out. We gotta put a name in here. Okay, the Giger Fields. Inhospitable and windswept, the Giger Fields are home to little else than beings. The beings they are named after, a loathsome offshoot of the trolls which plague the rest of the godlands. The gaunt gray Giger share the regenerative abilities of other trollkin. They also have an exceptional sense of smell due to their large noses, as well as the ability to utilize blood magic. Rumor has it that they learned this from Grix long ago. The gift has stayed with them. With him. Them. To this day. Whether or not that is true, the Giger hunters have found more than one hideous bone shrine to the fallen god in their lairs. I don't want to say I'll say Giger hunters. Their skin color makes it quite easy for them to blend into the gray rocks which litter the windswept hills of their lands, making travel there. I'm glad I'm reading through this. I got a lot of misspellings, or a lot of transposed words and like missing letters out of words or such. They're making travel there treacherous for the unwary. Giger love nothing more than to stalk their prey for as long as they can, extending the anticipation of the kill to the utmost. There are old stories of a hidden refuge once used by Grix as he searched for the god-killer weapon, existing somewhere in the Giger Fields, and his faithful minions are said to be charged with safeguarding its location until to their death. Okay. Hi. Fishing, farming, and pig raising community. This is one of the most civilized areas along the coast, featuring many an inn and tea house. Situated in the marshy but fertile lands between the two rivers, High produces great crops of tea and rice for the people of the Boar clan, as well as some of the best storytellers and bards in the kingdom. The port of High is shallow, so larger ships anchor offshore and ferry goods via longboat and coracle. On the plateau above the village is a wooden lighthouse to keep the local ships from foundering on the rocky, sandbar-laced coast. Am I late? You're totally late. I'm about done. One thing I was going to ask you, Erudia, is I wanted to make sure we have it in our minds again. I think we talked about it. Is the clans that I have in Kiru for barbarians are not the same clans that you have in the main book. So would they be able to be like, or would we add something later in a later supplement to add extra classes? Like, hey, or not classes, but like, hey, if you're a barbarian and you're from Kiru, you could also be a leopard clan, a heron clan, a boar clan, a monkey clan, in addition to any other clans that you have for barbarians. So for you, this is early. Hello, dragon. Doesn't Darkwood? Oh yeah, I totally played Darkwood earlier. If this were my stream, but this is my Legend Seeker stream. So there. Ha. Well, yeah, I'm about to hop off here. Whee! Because I got to go answer some work stuff. And I just got a nice hit of hot sauce there. There's a little bit of hot sauce oil on the surface of my coffee. Woo! Whee! Damn. An organization talent tree. Okay. That's cool. So do you think we'd add those in a later thing, or do you think we'd add them in here? Give me the monkey clansmen. The monkey clan, they're very interested in knowledge, and they're not really worried about how they get it. Boom. Hello, this eccentric. I just realized you were chatting up there. I had it covered up. Oops. Sorry. Hello. What was this message? Oh wow, yeah, that's a huge crowd. The Call of Duty League stuff in Paris, crazy amounts of people. I think that likely would be for a Kiro Splat book. Oh, okay, cool. They're the Brotherhood. The Monkey Clan worked closely with the Brotherhood of the Gilded Veil. They were totally like, sure, we'll do whatever you want. And a lot of them got killed for their efforts because they went along with it. And then the Brotherhood of the Gilded Veil is like, thanks for helping. We're going to use you as experiments now, or food for our monsters. Wolfie is demanding the dinner. All right. Will you go feed the wolf? I'm going to be getting out of here because I got to go take care of some work stuff before too late. So to that end, I'm going to be stopping maybe a minute early. I know I'm cheating you all. I'm a cheater. I'm a horrible person. But anyway, thank you all for coming along. I'm going to go do that work. Ooh, I should get some dinner. I don't know what I'm going to have, but I guess I'll see what I've got. And I will talk to you all later. I'll see you again on Thursday for more of this. And yeah, we'll just see how it all goes. So have a great night, and I will talk to you all very soon. Have fun.